Today I'm going to be talking about Metal, which is the new thing in iOS 8 that Apple is raving on about. It's going to be able to basically make developers get more power out of the A7 and A8 chips. Now this is only available if you upgrade to iOS 8, and basically what it does is, so you're going to have like three layers. You have the game layer, you have the hardware layer, which is your chipset, and then you have this middle layer called OpenGL, and in the old ones which didn't have Metal, this was say this big, and now it's absolutely tiny, and you basically get closer to the Metal, hence why it's called Metal. You get closer to the chipset, you can use more of the chipset's power. So what I am showing you today is 5 games. All these 5 games have been optimized for Metal. These are one of the 6 or 7 games that now are. The only ones I'm not showing you are things like Modern Combat 5, because it's quite awkward to show you, and it's not really a game I play. But I'm going to start off with something very simple. So this is Zen Garden. If you haven't played Zen Garden, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a Zen Garden. You can obviously make it all nice like this. You could get straight lines if you wanted perfect straight lines. I know this is probably going to kill some people that are not doing it right. But basically what it has allowed you to do on this is all of the kind of 3D graphics on it are a lot better. As you can see, there's more depth, everything's a lot smoother. It just defines the experience a bit better. It makes it a bit easier. Now, I would show you what this was like without Metal, but sadly I can't. But if you've used without Metal, you will notice the lighting effects, the shadows are better, the actual 3D depth of all the lines are better here. And obviously, this isn't the only place you can go on this. You can go and explore some other stuff if you wanted to, because there's not just a Zen Garden. We're going to head off up to the top now, which is where a little pond is. Let's go. How do we go back here? Let's go back. There we go. And you have a little pond, and you can look at the water effects. The water looks super realistic. When you tap on the water, obviously you can bring the fish to you, and just everything works really well. It basically allows faster 3D rendering. I believe it's 10 times faster than without Metal, which is obviously amazing. Anyway, enough of that game. That's kind of a boring game to show. I'm going to show you something that I play quite a lot, which is Pirates, Plunder Pirates. It's a very much like a Clash of Clans style game, and this really uses Metal well. This is obviously one of the first games that came out to use Metal from the start. Like, the heart of it was based on the Metal process, and you can really tell, you can really tell that, because first of all, the water looks super realistic. It's really nice, bright colors. You can see the shadow effects. You can also spin the cameras around, and look at that. There's no stuttering at all when you spin the camera around. You know, you expect maybe a little bit of jitter, but look at that, smooth as anything. And that's, of course, the 3D render models are looking amazing. And if we actually go into here, we can get some really close-up views of the village. So it puts cameras around, and you can actually get a really nice 3D render of what you're looking at. The smoke particles, although not very high detail, high quality, they're very cartoonish, but they look great. They work perfectly, and nothing stutters. Nothing stutters. Like, you know, the animations are nice and fluid. The sound is great too. It just works. So on games like this, you can really already see it working. You can see that they can bring more stuff onto the screen. So I believe in Asphalt, you can actually get like 3 times the amount of players on the screen, or cars on the screen, which is pretty impressive. And on this, it just allows for a lot smoother experience that really you shouldn't notice, because it's just there. You know, your mind is just like, this runs perfectly. I don't need to, worry about anything. I'm not getting any jitters or anything. So that's kind of what you're looking for, and that is exactly what we're getting here in Plunder Pirates. So I'm going to jump out and show you some gameplay of a game that is very, very new to the app market. It's called Mr. Crab, and this again takes a lot from the Metal process itself. Now, this is a really weird game. It's a really weird concept. You're a crab, and you can only jump. That's the only thing I can actually do at the moment, is jump. And you go one direction until you hit something, and then you can go another direction. There's things you can jump up, etc., etc. But you can see that this uses, obviously, the 3D effects really well. Going around this kind of spiral. Oh, we need to kill that. We need to turn back around. That way, there we go. It looks great. It's smooth. That's the thing. I'm watching this like spin around, trying to look for a tiny, tiny hiccup. I can't notice the slightest hiccup, which is absolutely beautiful. The model, the renders, the little particles, the little bubbles. It just makes for a great experience. And so far, the few games that are optimized for Metal are a little bit apart from the games that aren't. So you compare this to other games that, you know, have been optimized, sure, for high quality on the iPhone 5S and whatever, but they really do not quite match just the speed, the fluidity that this offers. Now, obviously, games are just getting their hands on this. The developers are just getting their hands on this kit. This game's actually really hard to concentrate playing. So expect games to really you'll probably get a lot of updates soon saying optimize for metal, download it if you have iOS 8, and I definitely recommend doing it, even if they're just adding new shaders, new particle effects, faster 3D modeling. You'll get an